Alright, hey guys, so these notes are going to be uploaded for people who were not able to attend the in-class notes that we did. So, this is the start of our new unit. Our last unit, which has to do with personal freedoms that or protections that are given specifically in the Constitution under the Bill of Rights. So we're going to start it off with the beginning with the First Amendment, and specifically within the First Amendment today we're going to be looking at free speech, and you're also going to look at how your free speech can sometimes be limited by the government. So within the First Amendment there are a lot of different protections under this First Amendment. In fact, there are 5 in total. Okay, so the first thing is, and you can see it on the screen in this section here, and also our primary source. This is directly from the U.S. Constitution. So, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. They are also not allowed to abridge the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people for enabling them to peacefully assemble and also be able to petition the government. Okay. And like I said, today specifically, we're going to be looking at freedom of speech. So within free speech, there are 2 different types of what we classify as speech. So the first one is known as pure speech. And pure speech, this is really like when you think of freedom of speech, this is probably what you think of. And that is just referring to verbal expression. Now, under pure speech and verbal expression, we can also classify, what you post on Twitter is considered pure speech. All right. Now the other, or the different type of speech, is known as symbolic speech. Okay. Now symbolic speech is probably not what you think of when you think of your right for freedom of speech, but it's often the one that makes the headlines. Okay. So symbolic speech, it's just behavior that is going to express an idea. Okay, so rather than you going out and definitively saying this is what I stand for, rather than doing that, your behavior is going to express what you stand for, okay, or your ideas and philosophies. So something that's been in the news very recently has to do with the NFL, kneeling during an anthem. You may not like it, you may not agree with it, but, you don't have to agree with it because they are protected under their First Amendment right, freedom of speech, to not stand for the national anthem. Another example of symbolic speech is you technically have a right to burn the American flag. Now, whether or not, I agree with that or whether or not you agree with that is a different story. Okay? So the reason why the political scientists get all, excited about free speech is because democracies, need free speech in order to function at their best. Think about it. Democracies, at their core, power to the people. And so we need free speech, because if we don't have free speech, we cannot have multitude of opinions and ideas. And if we start restricting, who can say what and who can express themselves this way, we start looking more and more like this right here, okay, a dictatorship. Now, your free speech is not always guaranteed. Specifically in cases where public safety is concerned. If you go into a movie theater and shout, "Fire, fire," when there's really no fire, and you cause mayhem and panic, your free speech is no longer protected because you are taking away from public safety. Okay. Other instances where free speech is limited, obscenity, so things like pornography, language, things of that nature, defamation, so trying to taint someone's image without any real evidence, and the Supreme Court has classified it as fighting words. Okay, if you're at a speech and you're at a rally and you're giving a speech and you're like, hey, we need to go get these people and we're going to get them right now, and you incentivize or you incite violence, your free speech is no longer protected, and it can be punished. Okay. All right, guys, so that is it for our notes today on free speech. They were super short. We're clocking in here just under 5 minutes. Really, really quick stuff. Really just getting the highlights. And then what you do with the guided reading and with the Sync Blast reading will help reinforce what we just discussed. So, if you have any questions, You can send me an email or I guess comment on this video, but I will see you later.